Alright, I got my latest invention here, my latest suspension trainer, back from the lab, if you will. Now, in the last video that I did about my homemade suspension trainer, that's my prusik trainer, which I call because it uses a prusik knot. This I call my bowline trainer because it uses particularly just the bowline knot in the entire construction. It's designed for the ultimate in lightweight and portability. In fact, I just keep this in my backpack all the time and I hardly ever know it's there until I need it. Each one is just the PVC pipe and a single line of rope. So here's how it works. You just take this out like so. The construction's real simple. Just one length of rope. This is, I think this is 5mm climbing rope from REI, got over a 1,000-pound test. Again, I don't like to use things that have less than a 1,000-pound test, and PVC handle. I finally figured out how to make a smooth lip, and what you do is you cut it, and I take a razor blade knife and I shave off all the ends, and you can get these things called sand blocks. They're basically like a foam block that has a sandpaper texture, and I just kind of sand away for like 5 minutes on each end, and that makes it all nice and smooth. I also have a hole that I drilled into it that I'll show you why I did that in a little bit, and I covered it in climbing tape. I don't use the hockey tape because it gets tacky as the adhesive bleeds through. Climbing tape is a little bit more forgiving. So let me show you how you set this up. Basically, you have the single length of rope gives you universal anchor point and accessory options. So you take one end of it and you can create your first bowline knot, which will create a little bit of a loop, like so. You got just enough of a loop to send the rope through. So you throw this over a bar, tree limb, or whatnot, you send it through, send the other end of the rope through it, and it creates a knot like so. From there, what you do is you feed the other end into the handle and out, and then what you do is you create a bowline knot above that, and that's going to hold you tight and secure. Now, this is a system designed for the ultimate in simplicity, lightweight, and portability. However, the drawback that you're getting with this is adjustment isn't quite as easy or efficient as you would get with the prusik knot style trainer, where you can easily move the handles up and down. You can micro adjust this height of the handles a little bit, like an inch or two, by adjusting the bowline knot. However, if you really want to take it like from the floor to waist height or whatnot, what you have to do is you undo the bowline knot and then retie it at a higher level. So it's more designed for those people like myself, where I'll use the suspension trainer for one, maybe two exercises in a workout. But if your primary workout is designed for a lot of different exercises with a lot of adjustments, may not be the best thing for you. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is you can feed the functional end of the line into that hole in the handle that I showed you earlier, out one end, around, back in on the other end, and up through the hole again. Create your bowline knot, and now what you have is you have a foot sling, which is an adjustable foot sling. And I've done this in the past where I have a special attachment for this, but I believe that foot slings should be an adjustment or an adjustable accessory and not a non-adjustable one like you see on most suspension trainers. This is because we all have different sized feet. We have different size shoes, therefore we should have adjustable suspension training foot slings. And the reason why you want this is when you put your foot into it, you want to bring the handle down so that your heel can press against it. You can get much more tension in the anterior chain when you're doing things like knee-ups, tucks, push-ups. It's much safer and much more secure. And the beautiful thing about this is it holds by body weight. So if you don't have any weight on it, the handle will slide up and down. It's much easier to get in and out, but as soon as you put your body weight onto that foot sling, it locks in place and is tight and secure. So there you go. There's my bowline trainer. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'll put a link down below to the prusik trainer, and also put a link down below to animatedknots.com, because if you're not very sure about how to be tying these things, you need to know really how to tie your bowline knots, your fisherman, and your prusik knots very well in order to make these safe and secure. Let me know if you have questions below. Be fit, live free.